Now let us start a new topic. Right? Previously we studied about the menstrual cycle, the phases of the menstrual cycle. There were three phases. Let's remember it. Then we will start the new topic. First one was the menstrual phase, second one was follicular phase, and third one was the luteal phase. So basically we studied about the menstrual cycle. In the last phase we discussed about the condition. What if the ova gets fertilized, right? So the next topic is related to that, fertilization and implantation. So in this video we are going to see how fertilization is occurring and how implantation is occurring. So let's start with the first thing, that for fertilization there should be a copulation in natural way, right? There are many ways without copulation. In vitro can be also done the fertilization, but in regular ways, right? Most of the cases during copulation, that is sexual intercourse between male and female, penis releases penis releases the semen, right, which contains the sperm. Penis releases the semen into vagina, okay, into vagina. Now where the ova is formed, the ova is generally formed in the ovary and it is released into the fallopian tube. So let's say this is the ovary, right, and this is the fallopian tube, okay. This is the uterus lining, right? So this is the case. If I say ova is released from the ovary and it reaches to the ampullary region, okay. So this is the ampullary region, remember this. So ova is reaching to the ampullary region. Simultaneously sperm which is released in the vagina of the female, right, that is semen is released which contains the sperm, is released into the vagina of female. This travels to cervix, then to uterus, traveling the sperm because they are having motility, right? Sperm in the semen swim rapidly, right? As I said, 40% of sperm should have vigorous motility. This semen or semen which is containing the sperm moves rapidly and it pass through cervix, okay, cervix to uterus to fallopian tube, and fallopian tube it reaches to the ampullary region where ova also reach, okay. Ova released from the ovary, ova released from ovary also reach to the fallopian tube, right, at which place, at the ampullary region. So if this process occurs simultaneously, then and then only fertilization will occur. So due to this, not all copulations or not all the release during all the times release of the sperm undergoes fertilization, because both synchronization should be perfect. So ova released from the ovary and sperm reaching to the ampullary region should occur simultaneously. Okay, this is the case. Now what happens? You are familiar with this. The ova which is present in the, see, fertilization is occurring in ampullary region of fallopian tube. In NEET it has been already asked this question, so you have to remember fertilization is occurring in fallopian tube, in fallopian tube. Okay students, so this is in which region? Ampullary region. Okay, ampullary region. बहुत important, very important. Let's see next one. Now you are familiar with this. Outermost layer is of cell, right, of a ova, that is corona radiata. So outer layer is corona radiata. Now inner to it is the layer of the glycoprotein. This is made up of follicular cell. Inner to it there is a layer of glycoprotein called as zona pellucida. Inner to it there is a perivitelline membrane which is adhered to the plasma membrane. So this is the third one, vitelline membrane, and inner one is referred as plasma membrane. Okay, so these are four layers of the ova. Now what happens? Sperm when reach to the ova, right, acrosome of the head part of the sperm releases certain enzymes which are referred as sperm lysins, like hyaluronidase, corona penetrating enzyme, right? Okay, such type of enzyme actually helps the sperm to pass through the layers called as corona radiata, zona pellucida. So sperm, right, sperm will pass due to the acrosome, right, and this process will result in the fertilization. That is, the meeting of the two nucleus will result in the fertilization, right? So let's say ovum and sperm when fuse with one another, right, fuse with one another, that result to form a zygote which is 2n. Why? Because ovum is haploid, sperm is also haploid, that we have discussed in the first chapter, right? Gametes are always haploid. Now let's see the case of this. What helps the sperm? Sperm part is having acrosome, right? Head part is having acrosome. This acrosome, in this case, acrosome releases sperm lysins, right? This helps to pass the sperm, helps to pass through corona radiata and zona pellucida, right? After the fusion, this induces the chemical changes in the membrane called as zona pellucida, right? This induces changes in zona pellucida, right? Pellucida, so that to prevent the entry of another sperm, Okay, so this is the case of fertilization. Now sex is determined at this step. Okay students, remember that sex is determined at this phase of the part or fertilization. Okay, now you are familiar with this. Let me clean this, then I will explain about the sex determination. As the society has misconception about many things, let me clean this and then we will understand what is the case of sex determination. Okay students. So first of all, let me explain you. The case is that a person having the sex male, right, has 46 chromosomes, right? Okay, so if I say about the male, that is 44 plus xy, is it these are autosomes, these are allosomes? Case of female is 44 plus XX. So when the gamete is formed, if you see the case, there will be the formation of two types of gametes. 22 plus X, this is meiosis for gamete formation, and 22 plus Y. So in this case, you can see formation of the two types of gametes in male, but in female there is only one type of gamete formation, that is 22 plus X, because both are sex chromosomes are same. Now if let's see what is the chance of the sex. So let's say same type of gametes are formed. Okay, same type of gametes in case of female. In case of male, it is forming two different types of gametes. Now when the fusion occurs, let's say for example this, that is 44 plus XX, this resulted in female. Then again 44 plus XX, this also resulted in female, because the last two are XX chromosome, sex chromosome. Then this and this, that is 44 plus XY, this resulted in male. So again this is also 44 plus XY, this resulted in male. So there is always a 50% chance of male and 50% chance of female. But for the sex determination, the only father is able to has such type of chromosome which can deliver the male child. So woman should not be blamed in the society for this case. Why I say? Because woman is producing only one type of gamete, while male can produce two type of gamete, and for the formation of the male child, the chromosomes or the gamete is with the father, not with the mother. So we have to just bring awareness in the society, as there are many cases has been observed that always the woman is blamed for the male child, right? Okay, so this was about the sex determination. Now we will see the implantation. Now let us understand the process occurring inside the ova and then implantation. So when we talked about this, the outermost layer was corona radiata. Okay, outermost layer was corona radiata. Inner to it was another layer which was referred as zona pellucida. Okay students, this has been already discussed. This is zona pellucida. Inner to it was a vitelline membrane. Okay, let's say this is zona pellucida. This one is vitelline membrane. Okay, and innermost is plasma membrane. Now what happens when sperm enters into the corona radiata and it passes through the zona pellucida? At that time the inner is secondary oocyte. The inner cell is at the stage of secondary oocyte that has not completed meiotic 2 division. Remember this, I have taught to you in gametogenesis. Remember this. So secondary oocyte at the entry of the sperm into the membrane, right? As sperm enters into the membrane, let's say this is secondary oocyte, right? At entry of sperm in membrane, okay students, what happens? The secondary oocyte, right, undergoes meiosis 2 and it forms two cells, secondary haploid polar body, secondary haploid polar body, and ovum or oocyte. This fuses, now the sperm nucleus fuses to form zygote. Okay students, now what is the case of zygote? This is haploid, right? Okay, this is also haploid, this is 2n. After zygote there is a only mitotic division. You remember compulsorily, this is always going to be now mitotic division. So zygote undergoes a special mitotic division referred as cleavage, right, when it passes through the fallopian tube. So basically, see, if I say this is a fallopian tube, zygote when passes through isthmus, it undergoes cleavage formation. Means it will start to divide. Let's say the two cells, right? From one cell it becomes two. Okay, like this. Then 2 to 4 it passes, right? So this is the case. When it passes, it continuously divides 1 2 3 4. So that forms 4 cells. So you can see like this 4. So 2 4 then forms 8 cell to 16 cell. This 2 is called as morula, right? Up to this stage 8 to 16 cell condition, this all are now called as, these cells are called as blastomeres. Okay, so these cells are called as blastomeres, and this further it moves continuously towards the uterus. Okay, and it is going to be implanted. Division will be continued. This further 16 blastomeres and 8 blastomeres condition is referred as morula. Okay students, now this soon transforms, division due to division soon transform into blastocyst, okay. Blastocyst is having the blastomeres. This blastomeres gets differentiated into two parts, right? Okay, so remember blastocyst gets differentiated into two layers. For example, if I say this is a cell, or let's say over here only I will show you that outer cell layer is referred as trophoblast. Okay, outer one is trophoblast, and inner cell mass which is attached to the trophoblast is inner cell mass, right? And outer one is trophoblast. blast. Okay, this blastocyst differentiate into two parts: inner cell mass, okay, that is going to form embryo. This will develop into embryo and further to fetus, right? Fetus. While trophoblast is very important, right? It gets attached to uterus. This gets attached to the uterus. Uterus, after the attachment of the uterus, what happens? Uterus cell surround, first divide rapidly, divides rapidly and surrounds the trophoblast, right? And get attached to it, so what happens? This is trophoblastic layer, and in it this will be the development of embryo, and surrounding it there will be attachment of the uterus cell. This is called as implantation. It is referred as implantation. Okay, and this is called as pregnancy also. Okay, so this is the completion of the topic fertilization and implantation. Thank you.